Now see the integration of the, that is the integrated rate law of zero order reaction. How we can calculate the integration here of the differential rate law of zero order reaction? We already seen that the rate law of zero order reaction is minus d into concentration of A divided by dt is equal to K, that is the constant. So on rearranging this equation, it becomes d into concentration, d of concentration of A is equal to, this minus sign goes here, minus K into dt. On integrating this equation between the limits such that concentration of A is equal to A0 at t is equal to 0 and concentration of A is equal to At when time t is equal to t. So on integrating this equation, we obtain such way that is integration of dA in the limit from A0 to At is equal to minus K, that is the constant, so it remains, that is the out of this integration sign, and there is only integration of this dt from the limit from 0 to t, and we know that is the law of integration. The integration of this quantity is that is concentration of At higher limit minus lower limit. So concentration of A at t minus concentration of A at 0 time is equal to, here also minus K in bracket t minus 0, and that becomes At minus A0 is equal to minus Kt, because K into T becomes here minus Kt. In this way, if this negative sign goes here, then what happen? This At becomes negative and A0 becomes positive. So Kt is equal to A0 minus At. Now this is the, that is integrated rate law of the zero order reaction. If we have to calculate here the rate constant K, then the equation becomes A0 minus At divided by t time. If we want to calculate time t, then that equation becomes, here is the time t is equal to minus A0, that is equal to A0 minus At divided by here K. Now the unit of rate constant K are same as the rate. That means concentration per time is the, that is here is the formula, that is concentration per time. So the rate of unit of rate constant is same as the rate, and that may be moles per liter, because concentration is always moles per liter divided by time. So moles per liter per time, or it may be moles per decimeter cube per second. Such types of units are there for the rate constant. Now this is the integrated rate law of zero order reaction. Now we will see the half-life period T half of the zero order reaction. Now let us see, students, the half-life period of zero order reaction. How we can calculate the T half, that is the half-life period of zero order reaction, just as the half-life period of the first order reaction. It is also the time required to consume the reactant concentration to half, that is the half-life period. So here we know that the rate constant K of zero order reaction is given as by the formula K is equal to A0 minus At divided by T. Suppose this is the equation X. Now substitute in this equation of the zero order reaction, T is equal to T half, that is the time required to consume the reactant concentration to half. And this At, what is remaining after the half time, that is the concentration of the reactant, that is also half. So At is equal to A0 divided by 2, that is the initial concentration gets consumed by the half quantity. So At is equal to A0 divided by 2 here. Then this equation X becomes, now K is equal to A0 minus, now here is the At, the value of At is A0 divided by 2. So substitute here A0 divided by 2 and divided by this T half. Now this A0 minus A0 divided by 2 becomes only A0 divided by 2, that is the half of the A0. So K is equal to A0 divided by this 2, which is remaining on subtraction, and this T half is here. So this is the formula of rate constant, but we have to calculate here the half life period. So T half is equal to A0 divided by twice K. Now this is the equation of the half-life period of the zero order reaction. In problem, we use this equation to calculate the half-life period of the zero order reaction. But for the first order reaction, that is the formula to calculate the half-life period is what is that? T half is equal to 0.693 divided by K. That is the formula for the first order reaction. And this is the formula to calculate the to calculate the half life period of zero order reaction is T half is equal to A0, that is the initial concentration of the reactor, divided by twice K. Now here we see that this that is the half-life period of the zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. Thus, the half-life period of zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. But in the formula of the half-life period of first order reaction, there is no the quantity of the, that is the initial concentration. Now, what is that formula? T half is equal to 0.693 divided by K. Here is no any concentration of reactor. So the half-life period of first order reaction is independent on the initial concentration, but the half-life period of the zero order reactions is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. Remember that for the MCQs they may be asked that. Now see the blackboard. Now let us see the graphical representation of zero order reaction. As that we are already seeing the graphical representation of first order reaction. Now see here the graphical representation of zero order reaction. We know that the rate law of the zero order reaction is given as Kt is equal to A0 minus At. It is also given as K is equal to A0 minus At divided by T. But if this T goes here, it gets multiplied. So Kt is equal to A0 minus At. Now this is the integrated rate law for the zero order reaction. If we rearrange this rate law in this way, suppose this At comes here. So At concentration of A, that is the at time T, At is equal to, it becomes, now this negative sign goes to this Kt. So this At is equal to minus Kt plus A0. Suppose this At comes on the left hand side and At goes to the left hand side and Kt goes to the, that is right hand side. Then Kt acquires the negative sign of that At. And this A0 plus is there, plus A0 plus. Now this is the equation X, suppose. Now if we compare this equation with the equation of straight line, which is the equation of straight line? Y is equal to mx plus c. Here in this equation of straight line, m is the slope and c is the intercept. If we compare this, then what becomes? Y is equal to at, slope is minus k, and on x-axis there is the time, and on y-axis there is the concentration, and this is the, that is intercept A0. Now if we plot the graph of this At versus time t, it is also the straight line as shown in the figure, having the slope of the straight line, that is the minus k, and the intercept on the y-axis is concentration, initial concentration, that is the A0. In this way, this is the graphical representation of the zero order reaction. So remember that is also very important. Now the example we already seen, that is the decomposition of ammonia on the platinum surface, where platinum, that is platinum placed as the catalyst there. Again, there are another examples of decomposition of different gases, such as decomposition of, that is the nitrous oxide on the platinum into nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrous oxide gives nitrogen and oxygen. The decomposition of nitrous oxide on the platinum surface is also the zero order reaction, because only that nitrous oxide molecules get decomposed which are present on the platinum surface, as that of the decomposition of ammonia. Another third example is the decomposition of phosphorus hydride on the tungsten surface. Similarly, this reaction of decomposition of phosphorus hydride into that phosphorus hydride molecules are in large excess, and only few are decomposed which are present on the tungsten metal surface. Now that are the examples of zero order reaction. Now in this way we completed this zero order reaction into what we are seeing into that. That is, first we are seeing the definition of zero order reaction, then example of zero order reaction, then the integrated rate law of zero order reaction, then the half-life period of zero order reaction, and graphical representation of zero order reaction, and the examples of the zero order. This topic is very important for the point of view of the board examination. Now come to the third type of reaction, that is the pseudo first order reaction. What is this pseudo first order reaction? Pseudo means it is false. False means that is not actually the higher order. That reaction is actually higher order, but it obeys the that is the kinetics of the first order. Suppose there are some reactions which show that they are higher order, such as second order, third order, but they follow the kinetic of first order reaction, so they are called as the pseudo first order reaction. Let us see what is that into the pseudo first order reaction. Now see the pseudo first order reactions. Which are the pseudo first order reactions? Pseudo means false. Some reactions are, we have to expect that reactions are of higher order, such as second order or third order. Order means what? That is the summation of the powers of the concentration terms of the reactant. That is the order. But some reactions expected to have the higher order, but they follow the kinetics of the first order reaction. That means they are indirectly they are the first order reaction. Such reactions are the pseudo first order reaction. See the definition. Certain reactions which are expected to be of higher order but follow the first order kinetics are called as the pseudo first order reaction. Pseudo means false. Now consider the hydrolysis. For example, consider the hydrolysis of methyl acetate, which is the ester. What is the formula of methyl acetate? CH3COO CH3. Now this is the methyl acetate. We see that into the element standard, that is the ester. Suppose the hydrolysis of ester is carried out. What is their formation of the hydrolysis of ester? Gives the acid and the alcohol. That is the acetic acid and the methyl alcohol, because these get decomposed into by the water. It get hydrolyzed by the water. Now it gives CH3COH, that is the acid, and CH3OH, water molecules OH goes to this CH3OH is there. Now in this reaction, what we expect? The rate law is given as rate is equal to K dash into concentration of this reactant, that is the methyl acetate, into concentration of the another reactant, that is the water. So it seems to be of second order reaction. We expect that the order of this reaction is second order, because 1 plus 1, that is the power of the reactant terms, is the order. But what happened here? but the concentration of water is always constant because very few molecules of water are used, very few concentration is used for the hydrolysis. There is the large excess of water in the reaction because the water is present in the large excess. So the concentration of water is nearly constant. Suppose that is the K double dash. Then what rate is equal to K into this concentration of water is K double dash into this concentration of methyl acetate. Now K into K double dash both are constant. So their multiplication is also constant. Suppose that is K. Then what is the rate? Rate is equal to K into concentration of this methyl acetate. Now what this rate equation shows? This rate equation of the methyl acetate shows that it is the first order reaction. Though we expect that it is second order, but finally it obey the first order kinetics. So this is the pseudo first order reaction, which is that hydrolysis of methyl acetate. Again, there are the examples of the pseudo first order reaction is the hydrolysis of cane sugar, that is the sucrose. What is the formula of sucrose? C12H22O11. If we hydrolyze the sucrose, what we obtain? One molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. By water, if we carry out the hydrolysis in the similar manner, then that is the glucose C6H12O6 and fructose C6H12O6, that is the fructose. But there also the concentration of water remains constant during the hydrolysis of sucrose, and in this way, though we expect that is the second order reaction, but it follows the kinetics of the first order reaction. So hydrolysis of cane sugar, that is sucrose, is also the pseudo first order reaction. And there are again some examples may be there for the pseudo first order reaction of that hydrolysis type, because we always consider the concentration of water constant, and in this way this is the pseudo first order reaction. That is, this is the definition of pseudo first order reaction, and this is the example. This is very important for the point of view of the board examination. They always ask the definition of pseudo first order reaction and the examples, and how the pseudo first order reaction follow the first order kinetics, that you have to prove and give there in the examination. If you like this video, then share for the other 12th class students and subscribe. Thank you.